What's up, Jitterinos? Welcome back to the Game Addicts podcast show where we talk about the modern retro video games that we play and collect. I'm this podcast player, one Brando, and joining me here today is this podcast player, two Mike.
How's it going?
I'm tired.
Yeah?
I'm tired, man. So this week, we're a day late. Originally, okay, let's roll it back. Schedule changed again. We're going back to the old original day that we had in the middle of the week, Wednesday. But the first Wednesday that we would have been back, I had a concert. So couldn't do that day. So we're doing Thursday, which is a normal launch day, but it's fine. We'll figure this stuff out eventually. We'll figure this podcasting stuff out. But man, I'm tired. I'm running on empty.
Yeah.
That little excitement at the beginning of the show is going to be pretty much the gist of it for me. It's all downhill from here. It's all downhill.
I got a few things that I can take over and talk about for a little bit that give you a little micro nap.
Well, okay. Well, so here's the thing, guys. Yeah. Episode 134 was recorded, and me and Mike sat down. We did a pretty good podcast. I felt like it was one of our better podcasts in a while. He spent a week on nights, and we hadn't even talked too much. So, like, a lot of us just bullshitting and talking like we normally do during the week, we did on the show, and I thought it was very entertaining. However, we seem to have been primed. That's been going around. If anybody's having any issues whatsoever with their Streamlabs and their interfaces, because it's not just mine, it's another one too, where in the middle of it, your voice just changes and you're down here and you're Autobots assemble.
Autobots assemble.
So it's like, I really don't know what's going on. I don't have a good fix. I'm using my old condenser mic. If you guys have been following along on my gaming streams, I'm not sure if that's caught up. I don't know, because I did like a big bundle of them, and I'm releasing like 2 a week, so it may be up. But I started using this mic. This mic's sensitive, so I'm sorry if you hear any extra noise in the background. I fidget a lot. I kind of like rock and do this little thing. So thankfully, this chair is a good chair and it doesn't squeak. I had a chair that squeaked, and it was
That's
like
one reason why I don't use a condenser mic, because you can still hear me fidgeting on the regular mic.
Taking a drink or earlier before we started, my stomach growled and it picked up on my mic, and I'm like, oh man, yeah. So if you hear a stray cat, I got cats, specifically Gohan, that keeps trying to get in this room because he's like, let me in. I want to be in that room. I want to get into stuff. And I'm like, get out of here. We're trying to talk about video games. And he's like, I want to be in there. I was like, no. I always yell at you to leave. Why are you always coming in here? And then he's dumbfounded because he's an inbred cat, and that's how it rolls.
Yeah.
So nobody heard that episode. They heard a snippet. I put a snippet of that episode in the episode that I recorded last week with the pickup videos. It was about a 40-second clip of us talking about our cups. And I just that way. And Mike, you sound normal. You sound complete, because I was the only one going through my interface. I'm the only one that got primed. So you're sounding completely normal. So even if I wanted to do a pitch fix, I'd have to isolate every single time I talk, because I can't pitch fix the whole thing, because then you would be up way too, like your voice would have been raised higher. So what does it sound like up here?
Sound like Mighty Mouse.
Yeah. So we're back here. It's been a little bit since we've talked to you guys, both of us. Gamescom has happened. We got some cool stuff that came out of that. Sony owns Insomniac. No Biomutant. And Mike's still upset about that.
It was on the list of what they had planned to talk about.
I mean, I didn't watch their thing.
I read it on the podcast nobody heard.
Yeah, you're right. Because you got excited.
Every single game. They had new stuff, new strategy game by us, new this, new that, blah, blah, blah.
All right.
Radio silent.
Radio silent. Biomute. I got a new phone, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
And
you like it?
I'm getting used to it. I will say that. I got the new Note 10 Plus. Biomutant. I'm going to type up Gamescom 2019. Gameplay from Gamescom is a 20-minute demo.
Mm-hmm.
Was that it? A new gameplay demo was the only thing that they had?
Yeah, I'm looking through what I've got here.
Okay, so the new gameplay demo allowed you to play at most 30 minutes from the game.
Yeah. Which it looks great. It does, but I'm looking through here and I still do not see a hard date.
So,
and you're a cat.
Yeah. This article from PC Gamer says Biomutant is one of the most exciting demos at Gamescom this year. That was from August 2017.
Mm-hmm.
That was from 2 years ago.
I mean, make the game better. I'm not telling you to not make the game better, but we need information. Don't just. And it says right here that everybody that's played it so far, it's Biomutant's combat plays like Devil May Cry.
It's kind of weird.
And you get psychic abilities, like
psychic.
It says psi abilities, not psychic.
Do you remember that one game coming out called Control? It was from the guy. Yeah, that game just came out this week.
Mm-hmm. By Epic Games. It's on the Epic Games Store.
Well, it's on Epic Games, but it was made by Remedy.
Yes.
So
you can literally control everything in time. Like you can shoot. It's really weird. Like I believe that's the one where you can stop. And if you stop moving, the game stops. Okay,
so currently it has an 81% on Metacritic, a 4.5 out of 5 on Tech Radar, and an 88% on PC Gamer.
And there's another game that people are raving about, and I just saw it on comicbook.com. And people are saying that it's quickly becoming one of their favorite games.
Yeah, people are giving this some pretty good reviews. Of course, on it's exclusive on console to PlayStation, I do believe.
Yeah.
But as you said, it's on the Epic Game Store as well. So Sony bought Insomniac.
Yeah, you're right.
So this isn't surprising news per se. Insomniac has been in bed with Sony for a long time with Ratchet and Clank and with the Resistance series. Of course, they went over with Microsoft and made Sunset Overdrive. So Sony now owns that IP. So if they ever want to do anything else with it, they can. More importantly, they made the highest selling PlayStation exclusive of all time. Spider-Man. Good old PS4 Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
So, of course, they, they did such a good job on that game. Let's bring these guys in house, and then let's see what else they can do for us.
So begs the question: what have they been working on? Because we know that they specified that the reason why the black suit is not there is because the black suit should get its own story. 100% correct on that statement, by the way. Are they working on the new Spider-Man 2, essentially Venom?
I hope so.
Spider-Man Venom. Just call it Spider-Man Venom and be done.
So I know that there is some worry about all this drama going on between Marvel and Sony over the film rights. Now, one of the reasons why Sony got Spider-Man as an exclusive game is because it was some sort of deal with Marvel. And part of it had to do with, like, well, they own the film rights and all this kind of stuff. There are some people who are worried that this could affect a possible sequel.
Yeah.
I hope not. I hope that Marvel just kind of like lets Insomniac do their thing and keep making them, because Marvel has all the power in the world to be like, nope, you don't get to make this IP anymore, and we're going to take it somewhere else. I don't want them to do that. I don't, because Insomniac proved to me that they can make a damn good Spider-Man game. Best Spider-Man game ever made.
Yeah.
And that's easily... I really hope not. Like we don't need to get into the whole shebang between Disney, Marvel, and Sony, and that, because that doesn't really affect us. But basically, it's a bunch of CEOs pulling a certain thing out of their pants, putting it on the table, trying to figure out who's bigger.
Yeah.
And I mean, and whether you like the movies, whether you like whether it's the MCU stuff, Spider-Verse, whatever, the games, whatever. I mean, ultimately, it's us who are going to be affected in the end. And the only thing that I can say, I like the movies that we got. They're cool. I've enjoyed all the ones that they've done over the last few years. Spider-Verse is like probably one of the best Spider-Man movies I've seen in a long time. Same with the 2 live action ones. With Tom Holland. I thought they're great, fantastic, great.
I still love the picture. Come be with us. After they pulled Spider-Man from the Marvel stuff.
Okay, so check this out. I saw this one picture. It was Disney is Thanos, and he said, "I am inevitable," And it showed Tony Stark is like, "And I own Spider-Man," and it's Sony.
Yeah.
But I like all that stuff. It's fine. It's cool. I like watching it. Don't mess with my Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
Don't mess with it.
Good. I hope they're working on 2.
Well, I know that Insomniac was very keen to do another one. Like it wasn't like, some studios, they make a game and like, all right, let's make a different game before we make another one of these, just to cleanse the palate. Sometimes studios do that. They were like, no, let's go. We want to do another one. Like,
yeah, they were literally like, we want one now. And that's why we've got the 2, spoiler alert. If you haven't played the game, shame on thee. But they do 2 little clips at the end, like a Marvel movie does, after scene credits. And it shows Venom, and it shows
Miles.
So
yeah.
It begs the question of, so in this game you were able to play as Mary Jane and Spidey. So now you'll be able to play as Miles.
Or Peter.
Or
Eddie.
That'd
be awesome.
That would be phenomenal, because literally in their statements, they were like, we really want to do a black suit. Like, we want to do it right now. And I think Sony was like, hold on a second, let's wait and see. And then, boom, highest selling exclusive of all time. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and buy you, and that's what you're going to work on from now on.
Oh, yeah.
I don't blame him.
No, I don't either. I'm definitely excited to see what they have cooking. Speaking of PlayStation, so last weekend or earlier on this week or something like that, GameStop's managers conference. GameStop laid off a bunch of more people, by the way.
Yeah.
Right before they're getting ready to have this managers conference, the week before, they laid off like a couple hundred people within their man, and also a lot of that team worked for Game Informer. And they were said to have not been expecting that at all. So all these people out of jobs. GameStop is trying to do everything they can to keep their business afloat.
Yeah, they are. I mean, getting rid of the Game Informer, everything's pretty much digital now. So
Yeah.
it sucks for those guys. I really hate that those. I mean, it's basically journalism.
It is.
I hate that has been plucked for them. But I heard that in the background in your house.
Wyatt really likes sirens.
You just hear. "Wah!"
He was doing sirens. He would literally run around the house at the top of his lungs doing sirens.
Anyways.
Yeah. So, GameStop had their managers conference, and Sony Interactive Entertainment and Naughty Dog revealed to the audience a brand new gameplay video of The Last of Us Part 2. According to those in attendance, the gameplay focused on stealth, which is a big... Yeah?
I'm mad that we don't get to go to this shit.
Right. Which is a big element of the sequel's moment-to-moment gameplay. Further, it showed you how you can use clickers to your advantage.
They're going to make clickers viable?
Well, if you remember, in the DLC for The Last of Us that was Left Behind, was the only thing in the entire game where you ever had infected and actual people in the same area at the same time combating both.
Right.
That was something that they figured out after the main game. They wanted to put that in the main game, but they didn't have enough time to create a scenario where that would be feasible. So they did it for the DLC,
which is awesome.
Which is cool because you can literally, all those people come in, you can throw bricks, which gets the infected's attention, and they run after those people and they start fighting each other. It's awesome.
Which is great.
Apparently, the sequence was set up in a very dark area. It was lit up only by fire and flashlights, which explains why Ellie has to use stealth. The footage was very short, but a, quote, great vertical slice of gameplay, according to one attendee. Unfortunately, Sony hasn't made this footage public, but some people were sharing some screenshots and some video from cell phones. There's also another bit of news about The Last of Us, or rumor.
Rumors. I love rumors.
All right, so new rumor for The Last of Us Part 2 has surfaced, claiming to have the scoop on the highly anticipated PS4 exclusive. According to the rumor, the game is Naughty Dog's biggest game to date, which wouldn't be very surprising. To coincide with this, rumor claims that the game is going to be big on graphics and lighting tech to bring it into the next generation standards. Why? Because apparently, The Last of Us Part 2 is going to be Sony's marquee gaming in the marketing of the PS5.
I wonder if, here's a good thing they can do. So, ray tracing has started to become a thing. Okay, it's not fully there. I can't do it on my computer and it be not kind of glitchy. It's not screen tearing, but it's glitchy. What if you made The Last of Us normal, like everybody has indulged your games, but then go PS5, real ray tracing, boom, and you literally see everything reflect off the water and all of that. That would be a reason for me to buy a PS5 if they can get it at 60 frames a second.
Yeah, right.
If they can put it at 60 frames a second and go, boom, here it is, I would go, okay, I'll buy it. You don't have to tell me anything. I'll buy it.
According to the rumor, the graphics of The Last of Us Part 2 are 4 times as complex as the graphics of Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. That was the last DLC, or the standalone DLC for Uncharted 4.
The game looked phenomenal.
Yes, I mean, Uncharted 4 and that both look like top-notch games.
Yeah.
Even after it's been out for a couple of years. And that's saying a lot because the Lost Legacy is still one of the best looking games of the generation, especially from a facial animation perspective, which is apparently where The Last of Us Part 2 is making the biggest progress.
That's awesome.
So, people are saying that, as you know, we've already seen the game on PS4 and it looks amazing from a graphical perspective. And Naughty Dog are animation wizards, but I wouldn't say that it's leaps beyond Uncharted 4. So perhaps this update to that only applies to the PS5. So it's going to be interesting if they're going to have versions of the game, like, the base PS4 version, like they had promised us. But then there's going to be a PS5 version that's like, hey, you should get this version. For all of you who are getting the PS5, check this one out.
I have sent you an image for something I want to talk about.
Okay. I've got...
Probably.
Yeah, I'll look at it in a second. I have another thing here. The rumor also notes that the transition from cinematic cutscenes to gameplay is seamless, to the point that it sometimes feels like you're in a cutscene, but you're actually in a gameplay sequence.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Which, that kind of is pulled from Uncharted 4.
Yes. Yeah.
Uncharted series, period, where you're doing stuff, you're playing, and then it literally seamlessly, like,
Boom.
your motion flows right into a cutscene, and then you flow right out of a cutscene, and now you're in control.
Yeah. But they're going to try and make that even smoother, to where, like, that blend is...
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what they should do. I mean, improve on what you got. You laughing at that? Did you read it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, one of the big things that's happened actually this week, as of Monday or Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday, WoW Classic came out.
Yeah.
And Blizzard had, I'm gonna say, I can't find numbers, but my friend told me they had 10 servers dedicated to WoW Classic. He logged in. He had already previously made his character. The queue time, 25,800 people. The queue times were said to be 17 hours to get into a server. So they had to emergency 3 server add, which went to 18,000. Now this is on the Alliance side, okay? It's Horde and Alliance. So the Horde has 3 times as many players. So the servers are 10 times the size that they were. And when you first started out, it's very hard to kill your stuff. Well, now gamers have invented a line for questing in the game. And WoW, and it's unbelievable to me.
So, is that not a meme? Is that an actual screenshot?
That's an actual screenshot.
My God.
So, like, they're in a line. This is a real line waiting to kill one character. It says here, an NPC quest.
Okay, so they're in this line, and then somebody types, "I came for the head, but I'm not leaving without those cheeks."
And then somebody said, imagine being a killable NPC and seeing a whole ass line of people waiting to kill you. And there's literally in the picture probably 30 people.
Oh my gosh.
Waiting to kill one NPC.
That is nuts, dude.
Our friend Tim got on, and he said he got home immediately. He was the first person out of the building. I watched him run. He got there. He said he went home, turned it on. He was at 3,000 Q.
And that's with him leaving it on all day. He left it on all day at work.
No.
No?
He got home and turned it on.
Okay.
So he was 3,000 away. He said he had 2.5 hours that he did stuff. And he dropped down to 1,000. So then he sat on his computer and messed around. He said he got to play for 3 hours. He stayed up till like midnight. It has added. So the World of Warcraft Classic, or World of Warcraft original launch was about 1 million people. Okay. This Classic is like 1.7 that they know of now million. And their servers, they have more servers. They have about the same server size. but the size of the servers are 10 times larger, and you can't fit the people on there. And they are literally going, so we're sorry. We did not think that this was going to be a big thing. And when I say 1.7 million, that's new subscribers, by the way. That's not just people getting in. That's new subscribers that came just for Classic.
Once again,
it's crazy.
Once again, it shows you a gaming company who's out of touch with what their core base wants.
And here's the thing: is that they've been saying this. People have been saying, "Hey, bring back Classic, bring back Classic," and they're like, you won't be able. Nobody will like it because you don't have flying mounts and blah blah blah. And here you are. It has literally your original base without WoW Classic was 1.5, and it's added 1.7 million to your already 1.5. And asking the thing, they were like, so is there any plans to like start from Classic, obviously, and now that it's so big, are you going to go to Burning Crusade? And they're like, we're already doing it now. After this, we're already starting. It's just, it's clear. People want it. So, and all the private servers are pretty much dead now. Completely wiped out.
Well, and that's kind of what they wanted too, wasn't it?
It is. It's exactly what they wanted. And now you just take your servers and you can do just like those guys did. Classic WoW. They're going to take the original WoW story, go all the way to the last DLC before Burning Crusade, and then they are going to add new stuff to the original stuff. So they're not going to do a Burning Crusade and add 10 levels. They're going to leave it at 60, and you're going to get more content. Because it just, the forums blew up, and people are all about it. It's actually like one of the biggest things going on right now, because Gamescom just happened. Everybody was excited for it. Lots of cool stuff, and then all of a sudden, oh my god!
Then the WoW launch hit, and WoW launch hit. There was like 1 million people watching on Twitch.
Yeah, that was it. It's the highest watched Twitch ever at one time.
And I mean, like a lot of those people were just streaming their queue lines.
And and they have a specific realm for Twitch streamers. So if you're a Twitch streamer, that's where you go. And one of those guys, he was one of the first one in. He was streaming. He got kicked. And he got put on like a 20,000 queue. And he's like, well, that sucks. But yeah, I mean, it's noteworthy to show. Like you said, it shows that another company, Blizzard, a massive company, in this specific game. Yes, Diablo is one of their biggest games, but this game has really propelled them to a level that nobody else has really got up on.
Yeah.
It's on a pedestal that nobody's ever been able to see the top of. And they've kind of, got their big head of, we know best for gamers. And, well, why are we losing player base? Because at one time, there was 7 million active accounts on World of Warcraft. And they just added 1.7 million in one day.
Well,
$14, $12 a pop?
Yeah. All right. And when I said that, because we look back to Diablo, like you said, was that a year ago? With the Diablo with Diablo Mobile,
Yeah.
I said Immobile. That's what we named it.
Yeah, we did.
Diablo Immortal, and how they're like, hey, you can only play it on a phone, all that kind of stuff, and you're just like not listening to your core fan base, And
they're literally saying, like, is this a joke? No. Okay. Is it going to be at least playable on a computer? Like, can I play it on my phone and then play it on my computer? Well, don't you have a phone?
Yeah.
Guy, you need to really think about what you just said.
Well, and then to that same token, look at Bethesda. Bethesda and what they did with Fallout 76. It's not that the fans or the fan base didn't necessarily want the game, but they didn't deliver the game that they promised those players.
It's not a Fallout game.
Yeah.
A Fallout game is a single RPG storyline.
Well, they were trying to sell it.
Deliver that.
Well, but they were trying to sell it like, well, it's just going to be the same, but it's going to be multiplayer.
And it was not.
No.
At all. Because it was more Fallout gameplay, and I love Fallout. I'll play more Fallout. I love it. But where are my quests? Like, where's my story? Where's my in-depth stuff? Oh, listen to it on a holotape.
Mm-hmm.
No. Just no. And funny thing you mentioned that people are complaining that some of the loot that is now been added to the game is absolute garbage.
Yeah, I've heard some people like some of the stuff that they've added to it, and we'll have to wait and see how the story, single player stuff that they're doing, adding NPCs. We'll see. I have hope that they can fix it. I hope that when we look back in like 5 years, we'll be like, oh yeah, dude, that game's a lot better now. If you get a chance, go pick up a copy cheap because it's a fun play. I would love for that to be the case because that's what happened with No Man's Sky.
Right.
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky is blown up into a massive thing. Like its online multiplayer thing is exactly what it promised and better.
And then they just added that whole VR thing. So, and to a lesser extent, BioWare. It's like, let's make this game. And it's like, this isn't a BioWare game. I buy your stuff because of the name that you print on that box.
Mm-hmm.
It's like back in the day. It's like way back when we were kids getting Super Nintendo games. You didn't always so you see a game, but you don't always know if the game's gonna be good. So you're looking at Capcom, Konami, Nintendo. You're looking at the people who made the game because you have games by those same people that you like. Okay, so this is this is a Konami game. This is gonna be good, right? There was a time when that meant quality. There's a time when Capcom meant quality, and that's starting to become so again for Capcom. Not so much for Konami, but but Nintendo. When you buy a Nintendo game, it's quality. It's very, very few and far between do you ever buy a Nintendo created game, even if it's not something that you're into. Is it not quality?
Right.
They put a lot of work and a lot of their stuff. They don't put out a game that doesn't work. That's just fundamentally broken. Okay, maybe that's not the Animal Crossing that you want, but play it. It's gonna work. It's not like buying a game that's completely broken. But as far as BioWare goes, there's a lot of hardcore BioWare fans that just want them to make a fucking BioWare game. Like, stop fucking around, just make a goddamn BioWare game.
Right. I just saw something with the added servers. Blizzard expects queues of 10,000 players for one WoW Classic server for each server. The average.
Wow. Speaking of Capcom.
Yeah.
There was a while ago, maybe like a month ago, I first read that some people that were Resident Evil insiders. That I'm not sure what that is. I need to do some research because I have a feeling that maybe you and I should also become one of these people.
What is it?
It's called Resident Evil. People who are Resident Evil insiders, and I'm not sure, but they got invited out to play a new project that Capcom's working on. I'm like, so why are they inviting Resident Evil insiders?
They're testing. They're testers.
Right. But,
that's what it says right here.
Yeah. So why are they inviting them out? What are they going to play? Mega Man?
I don't know.
Well, are they going to bring the Resident Evil testers out to play a Mega Man game? Or are they going to bring the testers out to play a Resident Evil game? So there was
I'm looking up the rumor right now.
Yeah, the rumor is there is a leak that says that a teaser trailer for a possible new Resident Evil game.
I'm seeing 8. I'm seeing people talk about 8 featuring Hookman and more bioweapons.
Okay, no, that's not what this one is about. It would appear that Capcom is set to reveal a new entry in the Resident Evil franchise this coming month. The company today revealed a teaser website with a few details for something called Project Resistance. While little is known about the project so far, and it hasn't been directly called a Resident Evil title, note that the RE and Resistance are highlighted in red.
Yeah.
The website notes that the teaser trailer for the new game is set to go live on September 9th at 10 a.m. Eastern. Additionally, Capcom will be showing off the game's gameplay at its booth at Tokyo Game Show, which is, I think, around that time. At least I know it's in September. A small number of attendees will also be able to actually play the game at TGS, but only if they receive a ticket, and only, according to the rules listed on the website, if they are a resident of Japan.
That's garbage.
Right? Additionally, there's a teaser trailer. Because the teaser trailer premiere is already live, albeit with a countdown clock to the premiere. Some clever folks have been able to pull some thumbnails from the video that are automatically generated. Yeah, that's what these pictures are from. Holy crap!
I see it.
Do you see those pictures?
The 4-player co-op.
Yeah.
Yeah. They look mighty interesting.
While none of those characters look familiar, the introduction of several here, as well as the manner in which they're positioned in one of the thumbnails, indicates that some kind of spin-off and potentially co-op gameplay of some kind. And it's all just an educated guess.
It's not a Raccoon City
right.
co-op.
Yeah, no. But that would be interesting to take the same gameplay that they've already perfected with RE2, a remake, and put that into an online game where up to 4 people have to make it through an area together. So you can
basically Left 4 Dead.
In a way, yeah, but you can RE up where it's RE enemies. You can have Mr. X's.
Yeah.
You can have limited supplies. That has a potential. Very similar in vein to the RE Outbreak on the PS2. It could be like a revival of the RE Outbreak series or something like that. But it's now in an era where online gaming is now the norm. I would be interested in checking that out for sure.
I mean, you're talking about another RE game, of course.
Yeah, right.
Like, to be able to, what if it's a 4-player story mode?
That'd be neat.
Game on.
That'd be different, especially if you can play it by yourself, offline, where you pick one character, and there's parts where you're all together, and then there's parts where you have to separate.
Right.
That would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Because then you could play online with people, and you have a story mode that you go through, and it's like, there's some areas where you have to split up, just like in Resident Evil 0, where you had to split up as characters to get certain things, to open up things or whatever.
Right.
Like, okay, Billy needs to be here, Rebecca needs to be here at the same time, to hit a switch or something.
Right.
So, I would...
Something to think about.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about a full-blown survival game set in RE style? So take Fallout 76, drop you in Raccoon City and go survive.
That'd be interesting.
That's your game. Survive.
That would be interesting.
That would be flippin' awesome.
And you could take the gameplay that's already there, and then have limited inventory space, which you can then later expand, and then
with the buildings and stuff like that. So basically, make it to where you're coordinating off an area that you want to stage as your main house, but you have to go out and get supplies. Just like Fallout 76, but make it more. You have to survive at your base. Your base has to be able to withhold certain incursions.
Well, and then because then players could be as big enemies as the zombies. essentially you have like a Resident Evil style DayZ.
Yep.
Um,
Make it more Resident Evil style.
Absolutely.
Not, like, make it, obviously, you have your Nemesis, your Mr. X and stuff.
Liquors.
Liquors and things like this. But make it more not just, okay, there's a handful of guys. Like, make it full the new DayZ style where they literally are everywhere. I think it would be phenomenal.
I mean,
like that.
I would definitely be interested in seeing what that has to hold. Another news article I have: a new version of Telltale Games is coming back. So, Telltale Games is dead, and the new company is gonna be a new company because almost everybody is gone from the original company.
Right.
So, LCG Entertainment, which is going to be doing business as Telltale Games after the former bought the assets, trademarks, and certain intellectual property rights. While this is a revival of the brand, there will be a Telltale Games putting out video games. It's also, this isn't the same company. The new Telltale Games comes from Jamie Otley and Brian Waddle, and investors and advisors on the new project include. Honestly, if I was more of an industry insider, I would know these people, but I don't, so I do apologize. Chris Kingsley from Rebellion, Lyle Hall from Heavy Iron Studios, and Athlon Games as a shareholder and publishing partner, as well as several others. Otley and Waddle were admittedly not involved in the previous incarnation of the company, but the business partners claim they wanted to make sure that the company didn't just fade away. And now I can't read part of the article because I have an ad covering it. And we don't know what titles are going to carry over for the IP, because it really seems like The Walking Dead has been reacquired by Skybound, because they finished the Walking Dead series from the Telltale, because they were in the middle of that when they folded.
Yep.
And Skybound Games finished it, and they're, I believe, have put out or are about to put out a big compilation where it's like seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4 all in one game, and you can just go boom, 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 boom.
That would be cool to buy.
So, don't know if that's like, because they had Batman, they had Game of Thrones at one point, they had, Wolf Among Us.
For a while, they were on fire.
They were, okay. And here's the thing, is that every single person I ever talked to is like, wow, those are fun games. I wish their engine would work better. Like, if they could take some time to work on their engine, make a better engine, these games would be even better. But they just kept pumping more out, pumping this, pumping that out, pumping this. And it's like, every time I would play one, whether it would be The Walking Dead or Game of Thrones or Batman, I would be like, man, I don't know if I'm going to play it. Because in my head, I'm remembering how it is to play those games. And I'm just like, man, it's fun for a while. But then it's like, I kind of get tired of it. But then I remember each and every single time why I get sucked into those games. It's not the gameplay, it's how good the story is.
Yep.
They were so good at crafting a story. On just those three alone, just like I said, that Game of Thrones thing felt like you were in the Game of Thrones world. There were some people who complained that at the end your choices didn't matter. Whatever.
I mean, the outcome is still going to be what it is on Game of Thrones.
Because they can't fuck with shit.
They can't fuck with the original story.
I mean, but the Batman game was awesome. The Walking Dead's, I played the first season. I think I have the second season, but I never did end up getting the third or the fourth yet. But that first season was like, okay, this is kind of cool. And that as you start going along, you're like, well, this is better. Wow, okay, cool, man. It's like the comic, man. This is awesome. And then you get to the end and it gut punches you. You're like, fuck, this is awesome. This is they took their time and told a good story. And
it's cool though that a lot of those guys went to some pretty good companies.
Yes, no, yeah.
100% story oriented, which is awesome because that means that they can tell a good story, and they're where they at now, where their stories can be told.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I hope I hope the best. I hope they can restart the company. I know not everybody, everybody's gone, but that's beginning to be the same for like BioWare. So like Casey Hudson's there and in charge, but he left at one point too. So
pretty much everybody's gone.
Don't get me started on that again.
Mm-hmm.
So we have PlayStation Plus and Xbox Games with Gold for September, going live next week. Xbox Games with Gold, which you have, by the way. You can get these.
I do. Yeah, you're right.
So for the Xbox One, you have Hitman: The Complete First Season. By the way, I played this. It's a good game. It was on Game Pass, and then they eventually took it off. I actually really enjoyed it. Xbox One, We Were Here. That was only a $5 game. And Hitman is available all month. And then, of course, We Were Here is available only from September 16th to October 15th. For the Xbox 360, you get Earth Defense Force 2025. I remember that game. It's like that. You're killing bugs and shit. That will be September 1st to September 15th, so only the first half of the month. Then for the last half of the month, for the 360, you have Tekken Tag Tournament 2.
I got Plus. This is a big one.
They are, yeah.
This is three big titles. Batman, Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
Darksiders 3. Those are two huge titles.
Yeah.
I don't know who wins it. I have to say PlayStation wins it.
This month, I mean, last month Xbox took it easily because they had Forza. They had Forza. Was it 6? Was it Forza 6 and Gears 4?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, no. I think PlayStation does take it. I mean,
anymore though, really. And I'm going to be honest with this. It doesn't really matter that you have you get games with gold, because if you are an ultimate subscriber, which you're going to be with the fact that it's only a couple bucks more if you have gold to get their the ultimate, where you get their stream service and gold and stream service on the PC. So all these games are already free.
Yeah.
That they released last cycle. So it's cool that they're still doing that, but in actuality, it's no longer required.
No, and I could definitely see a time or day that it's phased out. Especially since you have Game Pass Ultimate, which combines the two, I can honestly see a day where they just combine that service entirely.
Yes, and also I'd like to add before we switch that right now, during eBay's ongoing Labor Day sale this week, you can get a normally 12-month subscription that is normally $60 for $40 right now for the Sony's Plus, PS Plus. So $20 off right now if you go to eBay and purchase it during their Labor Day sale.
Speaking of the Switch, Final Fantasy VIII Remastered comes out on the Switch, PS4, and Xbox One, and PC next Tuesday on September 3rd.
You buying it?
Probably.
Don't act like you're not.
It's $20, and there is no. I remember on the episode that nobody heard, there's a rumor of a physical copy. There is no physical copy. Square said no physical copy. Don't know where that even came from.
So the question is where are you going to get it on? I'm assuming.
I'm thinking about it. I mean, I have 7 and 9 on the PS4 because I got 7 on discount. I got it for half off because it was like $7.50. Because I think
I
7
got it on the Final Fantasy Day.
Yeah.
The original release of the original Final Fantasy. they have that anniversary, Final Fantasy anniversary.
So like they had the FF7 remastered or the PC edition that's on the PS4. I got that for $7.50 for half off, and then I actually got FF9 on day of release. And if you got it on day of release, it's normally $20, and I got it for like if you bought it that day, it was like so many percentage off, and it was like $13.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and so it was like $7 off or something like that. So that's the only reason why I bought the game there. I thought about buying it on the Switch, but I'm like, oh, well, it's cheaper, whatever. But I am tempted to get 8 on the Switch because it would give me another game to play on the Switch.
I have them all on the PlayStation Classic. On not the Classic, the PlayStation 1 Games Classic that you can get on PS4. I have it for those, which I have it on my Vita.
Okay,
You
so
can only do it on a PS3.
yeah.
It's 8. 8's only on PS3.
Well, 7 you can't do it. So the ones you have are only compatible with PS3, PSP, and Vita. They're not on the PS4, and I think they should be. There's no reason why they shouldn't. Right. But why would they?
On the PSP, so.
Why would they be wanting to do that when they have a version, a trophied version? Because you can get trophies on these of 7 and 9 for much more, for like $15 and $20, and people buy it. And when it's like, hey, this is the PS1 version with no trophies, and it's $10. Sony in that department kind of loses me a little bit, because it's like you could easily make this cheaper, and you can easily make this more accessible for backwards compatibility and ease of compatibility. But instead, they want to try and work everything into the PS4. I get it. I understand why. It makes sense from a business standpoint. But from a consumer standpoint, it's like, man, I already have this game. I should be able to put that disc in and just like, you own this game. Let's go ahead and download it. I don't know, like my Xbox does. Yeah, that's a criticism. Like I have been playing on stream. I'm now officially on Mass Effect 2. I put this game in my Xbox. And it said, you own Mass Effect 2. So it installed it or downloaded it from the store. And then, because I had already previously purchased all the DLC for this, it let me download all the DLC for this.
That's awesome.
Now, I ran into one issue where I went to go, I played the first episode, and then I went in to play the second episode, and the game wouldn't load because it said, you're missing some DLC. I went, I am not. Because I double-checked. I'm not missing it. I tried to load it 3 times, it wouldn't do it. And I just happened to reload the game the 4th time before I was getting ready to get mad. And because somebody said, if you just uninstall everything and reinstall it, it'll work. I'm like, don't make me do that. That's a long time.
Right.
So, but when I loaded it up that 4th time, it booted me in and worked. So that's the only issue that I encountered. Mass Effect 1 never gave me that issue, and I have DLC for Mass Effect 1 downloaded on there. Which, by the way, if you have Mass Effect 1, and you have Bring Down the Sky DLC, okay, and then say you go onto a new 360, or like you don't have Bring Down the Sky DLC downloaded, but your game save is a game save which has that where you've played that or have it, it will not let you play that game until you go back and re-download it. It was in the early days of DLC, but right. It was no, you don't have Bring Down the Sky. I'm like, oh crap, I got to re-download that because I'm stuck at the menu until I go re-download it. But why can't we live in a world where we have Final Fantasy X? I mean, of course, what was that? That was remastered on 4 too, wasn't it?
Got it on PS4.
Okay, you know what game wasn't remastered for 4? Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, they were remastered for PS3, but not PS4.
You're right.
But I've got Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 over here. Put that in there. It's like, oh, you own this. Let's download this and play it. And it's like, and it just emulates the PS2. Why can't it do that?
I don't know. I'm wanting to see what happens
with the 5,
PS5, because I'm still not sold. I'm not sold because I have what they have. A little bit. It looks like the graphics card they're using It's a little bit better than mine. That's fair. I got like the lowest one of the new ones. But I can upgrade that for the same price and probably go like all out and get a nice one. Here's the question. What are you going to do with this 5? If you literally on drop day go, it plays 1 through 5 PlayStation games. Every game you own is now accessible. Play everything. It literally plays everything PlayStation. That should be what it is. It literally plays everything. And walk away.
So according to the never once wrong rumor mill, I like that.
I like that.
Sony Interactive Entertainment will fully reveal the PS5 in early 2020. More specifically, it'll be in February. More specifically to that, February 12th, which is a Wednesday, which they've been doing their state of plays on Wednesdays. The rumor comes from 4chan, via popular YouTuber Mystic, and is actually a part of a much larger information dump that includes Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us Part 2. So this coincides with the PlayStation meeting way back in 2013, in that which they unveiled the PS4. It's like almost exactly the same time frame of window. And then of course you would have it unveiled, and then after people are like, "Wow, that's great! You know, we got a little bit of a sneak peek at it, and we got some idea of when it's coming out, or probably more likely like holiday." So then at E3 we're going to get more information, and then a hard date, and then a price point.
Makes sense. So we're gonna get a initial. This is what it is. Boom. In February 12th.
Yeah.
Along with the much anticipated titles that we've been looking forward to.
Yeah.
And then E3 is going to be like,
yeah,
here we go.
Well, you know, if they just do a mirror copy of what they did last time, which did not do them any harm by doing it this way.
No, let's just say
100 million.
They definitely won this race, this generation.
But basically, for the PlayStation meeting, they showed a couple of videos, and then they revealed the controller.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they did. Well, and then they talked about the specs. They didn't reveal a console. They didn't reveal a price point.
I keep seeing. Have you seen those pictures of the PS5?
It's that V-looking thing. Apparently, that's not what it is. That was.
Did they officially confirm that that's not it?
Yeah. No. But
Sony didn't officially say this is not it.
No. That was that picture was somebody had recreated the drawings of it based off what somebody said what their dev kit looked like.
Yeah.
So that's a dev kit. Those look like anything and everything.
So what do you think about this new controller?
We don't know anything. I mean, we've heard a little bit that they're trying to put a touch screen on it, which it needs to have.
They revealed the controller.
No, they haven't revealed the controller at all yet, buddy. I know. I was saying.
You're talking about last time around.
I was saying when they did the PlayStation meeting and revealed the 4, they didn't reveal what the system looked like at all. They revealed the specs, which they've already done for the 5, and then they revealed some gameplay footage. Hey, check out Knack. You know, hey, check out this other PlayStation game. You know, these are the. It was Killzone. I want to say that Killzone Shadows Fall, whatever. Knack and Killzone, and like here's the controller, you know, and then they showed the PS4 controller with the touchpad. People were like, ooh, whoa, and then at E3 they spent an hour talking about like PS3 and Vita, and then they came in with the 4 and was like dropping that elbow, you know.
Did you see what I sent you?
Oh yeah,
I like the look of that one. It looks exactly like
the
a PS4, but with a small, and it has the a home screen on it.
Yeah. So there was something that we shared a while ago that was very close to that, and where it was supposed to be like, it was debunked, but there was that picture of a dev kit controller that was bulky, but it had a touch screen on it, and it literally had the same button layout. I would not be surprised if they just replaced the touchpad with a screen, just like that picture that you sent me. Because here's what it's going to do. It's going to replicate, and you're going to be able to play completely PS4 games on it.
Right.
Because the games that use the touchpad, you can just use the touch screen. It's going to do the same exact thing.
I just had a mind-blowing moment. What if you could take that controller that I just sent you and stream games on it? Now you have a small...
Oh.
It's small.
It's a bit small.
It's a bit small, but what if they made it a little bit bigger?
I mean...
It's not... If... Okay, hold on. I want to do some visual lookage
I mean,
here.
it's not that like you possibly couldn't do it, but it'd be more of a factor of would you want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but...
Because essentially then you'd just be like, hey, we're a Wii U gamepad. Which would be par for the course for Sony, because Sony likes to just do what other people do and try and do it better.
So here's the thing. We've heard a lot of rumors about this specific style. That they were thinking about making it to where you had a on-the-go with, just like the Wii U. Okay, basically just like the Wii U. It was like an iPad accessory slide out. Okay, so
well, Xbox.
Look at the screen difference here. So you got the screen. This is PSP.
Yeah.
If you made that control a little bigger, you could. I mean, yeah, that screen is a third, maybe a quarter. Or like a quarter of the size. If you made that a little bigger and move your buttons around a little bit, maybe move these in the center, open that screen up a little bit, it can be done. I know that's like one of those, really? That's far, really? But it wouldn't surprise me if they would try some kind of concept like that later on. Because of how big the Switch is. Yeah,
but what I really like with the picture that you sent me is showed like the touchscreen has the home screen on it. Being able to access your home screen and your messages on your controller without leaving the menu on your game screen in game. That's kind of a cool idea. Cause
I think it would be really cool is if you did the exact same concept, but whenever you, like if me and you are chatting, I could hit chat, and instead of it having a keyboard across, it had keyboards on the side. So you'd have half
where you could type with both thumbs. Yeah.
Thumbs, and you wouldn't have to move your hand.
That'd be kind of a weird like text.
It would be weird.
You'd have to get used to it. Yeah.
It'd be weird, but if you do it like when you're taught, at least us, the kids now are not taught this way. We were taught that your hand only stays on one half of the keyboard.
Yeah.
And your other hand stays on the other, and you shift with the other finger on the other side. So that would be one of those things that would harbor back to something old to make it new. I don't know. It'd be cool. I think that is probably one of the best images I've seen so far of the PS5 controller. Potential controller.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be really interesting. We are nearing the end of another year. We are nearing the end of this cycle already. It feels like it barely even begun. To be honest with you, like it's crazy. But it's true. I mean, the PS3 and the 360. I mean, they launched in 2005, 2006 for those, and they launched new consoles in 2013. So for the PS3, that was 7 years, and here we are, 2013. Coming into 2020, that'll be 6 years. We have the same time frame of window, and now I just feel older. like thinking that
Yeah.
I've now lived through another gaming cycle, and it's like, no, we're not done yet. Yeah, we actually kind of are. We are nearing the end. We're getting down to the nitty gritty of the last great exclusives that are going to come out for these big games. There's only a few left, and we're going to launch the next ones, and we're going to get used to the hardware again. We're going to be like, oh, the first exclusives suck. And, we're like, God damn it, why'd they make an Act 3? We're going to go through that whole cycle, and then all of a sudden people are going to figure it out. And then just like always, dude, when a console first comes out, and it's like, these are the specs that are in it. And then they don't update it for 6 years. It's like, well, you kind of need, like, hey, it'd be time to update it in between that. But these developers somehow, because it's different than a PC, because you're limiting what other computing power goes to what on a console, they're able to squeeze and get more out of these for the consoles, and it's crazy. These developers they learn it, they know it, and
That's one thing I like about some of our bigger titles. They take the time to wait. Let other people figure out the little itty bitty stuff and work on the major changes, like FF9. Best way to put it. The best looking game on a PS1 period. Because guess what? It was bricking them. Because it was taking every inch of power from that PS1.
There is one dude that I know of for sure. He is a YouTuber, and he live streams. And he told a story about how playing FF9 on his original PS1, he got to disc 4, and going into Memoria at the end of disc 4, all the stuff that was going on the screen cooked his PS1.
It's crazy.
Cooked it. Like, it started smoking. And he actually didn't complete FF9 until like a year or two later on a PS2.
Yeah, because the PS1s, it was smoking them, like you just said.
Well, like, he didn't have enough money to just go out and replace his system. And then I think a buddy of his had a PS2, and then it was reverse compatible. And then he's like, all right, let me see if this still works. And it worked, and he booted it right up, and he started, I think he said he started right from where he left off. He beat the game, and then he started it all back over again because it's been a while since he played it. Right. So he wanted to redo the whole story. So
I have one more thing to mention from Gamescom.
Okay.
That I'm excited about. Kerbal Space Program 2.
2, yeah. I'm smacking my damn pop filter.
It looked great. It looked awesome. I'm excited.
I knew you would be.
I want it now. I saw that and I was like, what's this?
Yeah, the moment I saw it, I knew you would be. You would be over there going nuts.
I was literally just sitting here and it was like Kerbal Space Program 2 announced. I was like,
Nose
and
to
I
screen.
text my cousin. Yeah, I literally was like, and I text my cousin. I was like, dude, KSP2. He's like, I know. Like, oh my god! It's gonna be a universe travel.
Oh.
So you're not just gonna have solar system. It's intergalactic.
That's cool.
So it'll take like 70,000 years to get to that galaxy. Kerbals don't age, right? They don't need to eat or anything.
There you go.
But
well,
it looked cool. I'm really excited. It's very... They really worked on like the enhancing the graphics and really tweaking and fine-tuning all the math, because there is so much math that goes on. It's awesome, and I'm really excited to see what they do. It looked like they added some of the modder stuff. So mods, like the base game was, the base game, but they added a lot of mods of like biodomes where you can literally inhabit another planet. Kind of saw a little bit of sprinkles of that. It's like a company listening to their fans. This is going to go well.
That's pretty rare nowadays. Yeah, just like we said. So, Yeah, dude, I knew you'd be excited for that the moment I saw it. I was like, oh, hell yeah, that's right up his alley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I tried not to start up the other one. Luckily, I'm in 14 right now, Final Fantasy 14. So
Yeah, now that I'm in Mass Effect 2, I've got that itch. I want to keep playing like all the time. Like, I'm in it. I'm in it. 2 is my favorite. I'm already into the gameplay. I'm like, oh yes, this is what gameplay should be. You know, having fun. But I'm streaming that.
No 362 second cooldown.
Right.
For Fortify.
But and it's funny because you can see in like the first episode, I am kind of like trying to get a feel for it again, because coming from the first one, I figured out how I wanted to play it. You know, which is funny because I did something in the first game I've never done, which is crazy. I ran with a shotgun. I got this really powerful shotgun. And it's funny because I spec'd my guy out. I didn't put any points into shotguns whatsoever. Next time I play the game, I'm putting points into shotgun. Because when I played it as a soldier, I ran it with a shotgun for the first time. So, you know, some people out there are like, gosh, a noob, what are you doing? Of course that's what you do. I'm like, yeah, they always overheat, and I hated it. What I found, Mike, I found this little mod you could put on there. It's called explosive rounds. Or high explosive rounds. And it increases your damage output by a lot. A lot. Like, I'm going to look it up real quick because I want to get the number exactly right. There it is. High explosive rounds. And, so I was running the most powerful shotgun that I could get, and it says here, you get 26% extra damage. But they're saying that you can get that mod off of, or you can get that off of other mods too. It's like, but this, like, basically it said that my gun. Oh, is it that time?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Hi, bud.
Hi, Dad. Are you talking to this microphone?
I am talking into this microphone.
What is this?
That's called a pop filter, bud.
And
What? No, you.
Just grab everything.
Yep. Nope. Nope, Bubba. We cannot touch the microphone, especially this one. This one picks up a mouse fart.
the mouse fart?
Have you ever heard a mouse fart, Wyatt?
Yeah.
You have? All right, so don't touch. I know you want to touch, but we got to just...
Scoot it closer to me.
Okay. How about is that better?
Well, do you have a game room?
Well, yeah, that's
I
what we're in.
do.
Do you have a game room?
See it?
Yeah, we have a game room. Patfoot! Yeah, that's Patfoot behind you. And we have, and I broke to my glasses.
You broke your
Are you
glasses,
tattling on
huh?
yourself?
Well, I did broke my glasses.
Yeah, you broke your glasses?
Yeah, I did. That's a lot. That's so ridiculous today.
You're ridiculous.
Hey, that's YouTube and Spotify.
It is. YouTube and Spotify, where our podcast is. You can get us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more.
That's Games Addicts Podcast.
That is. We are the Game Addicts Podcast. Yes, you're right.
We are.
You're getting this down. You might be able to fill in for me one day.
Yeah, we are. And when you saying we're...
What day do we record?
Well, we did one of those today because... We just play video games and we just listen to Metal Rockstar.
Do we listen to metal and play video? Do we talk about video games?
Well,
Is that what we do?
yeah, and we listen to Middle Rockstar and Paw Patrol Middle.
We listen to metal covers of Paw Patrol and Post Malone.
And Rockstar Post Malone when you listen to Middle.
Can you do it? Yeah. Metal. I love you, dude.
I love you too.
You going night-night?
Yeah, well, we will see to listen with us, and we'll do another podcast. If you go to the podcast a little later, I will go to bed, and I will see you in the morning, and we'll do it out to us.
Okay, so you want to do another podcast in the morning, is what you're saying?
Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it 21 times.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh!
We're going to do 21 podcasts?
Yeah!
Oh my gosh.
Lauren, tell us what happens. Oh boy.
Stop touching the microphones. Stop.
I'm going to say what they were going to say.
Okay, see, that's just gibberish. Come on now. All right.
I want to keep talking to the podcast 21 times.
No, we're not. No, we can't. We're almost done with the podcast. I'm about ready to turn it off.
Oh, it was like, just wait.
We've already talked about everything that we could possibly talk about this week.
Well, I want to try and do it 21 times then.
What is it with you and 21? What is it, blackjack?
I will.
21 Savage and
Oh, 20. Yeah. Oh, the rapper?
yeah, because he sees it in the title of the song.
Okay.
22 sides.
Hey, I got to wrap up the podcast, and I got to go night-night too.
Well, I don't want you to wrap up the podcast. That's Mass Effect right there.
That's Mass Effect? Is that it right there?
Yeah, and on the picture.
All right, say bye.
Say bye.
I love you.
Love you too. Love you too.
Later on.
You too. Bye.
Hey, later on, dude.
Come on, bud.
What's that?
There's lots of stuff in that.
Okay.
That went on for 5 more minutes than I wanted it to. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. 21 times. 21 times. He got really loud there for a minute. Really loud. I was like, ooh.
He did.
My ears hurt.
Oh, well, I do apologize for that.
Sorry.
And I do apologize if his yelling demeanor hurt any of your ears out there listening. And I do enjoy bringing him on. The last time that he was on, he talked more coherently. Do you know what that was? That was a prime example, and I want each and every one of you who don't have kids to understand. That was him delaying bedtime. He knew what he was doing. He's like,
yeah.
Mm-mm. So I was trying my best not to let him freak out. Oh, look, our stream has been disconnected.
Guess we're done.
We're still recording.
Right.
But, yeah. No. Okay, we're back up. That means 2 streams have been created, which means, okay.
More work for you.
Not really. I'm just going to make them private, and I'll upload this thing. So, that being said, guys, I think that's it for this episode of the Game Addicts podcast. We're going to hit you up next week. Should be on our normal day. I don't think anything's going on next week for either one of us that's going to hinder us from recording on Wednesday.
Should not.
So we're going to go back to our normal record day.
Have a good Labor Day weekend, y'all.
Yeah, and please do so. And you too, Mike. Get some rest.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Well, yeah. But, I mean, I know that you've had a little bit of a rough week a little bit. Getting back to the day shift schedule. You've been tired.
First day I came home and went to sleep immediately. Actually, the night prior to that, on Sunday, I went to bed at 9:10, and woke up at midnight, and I was up. I had just not fallen asleep, and it was middle of the day.
That sucks.
And then the next day it was, oh yeah, how about you go to sleep at 6 and wake up at midnight again. Last night was the first night that I fell asleep and stayed asleep. I actually woke up at 2, and I was able to go, no.
So I went to bed yesterday, or this morning, after going to the concert, because I went to go see Demons and Wizards. I went to bed at about 5 o'clock in the morning, which was around the time you were at work.
Yeah, at least waking up.
Well, no, because that was Central Time. So Eastern
Right.
Time is 6.
Right.
That's when I was going to bed.
And you definitely wouldn't have made it to work.
Well, hell no. Like I called in at like 2 something. But I mean, I already told her I was calling in anyway. But I got like 3 hours of sleep. And it wasn't even a restful 3 hours of sleep. It was like I kept waking up. I was uncomfortable. It is what it is. But I'm home. I'm going to grab some food and go to bed. It's kind of my plan for the night. So everybody out there in podcast land, thank you for checking out this episode. If you did, like us on all our social medias, Game Addicts Play. Check us out on live streams on Twitch and Facebook and YouTube and Mixer at Game Addicts Play, on all those. And of course, like as I was saying during the Wyatt wrap up, you can check us out on podcast services all around the place. Pick your favorite one, search Game Addicts Podcast, download us, review us, listen, all that good stuff.
Make fun of us.
Yeah. By all means, make fun of us. Like we enjoy that. But
I definitely enjoy it because I get scatterbrained. I have a really bad tendency to forget things that are literally directly told to me. Like minutes later, my attention span is about 0.
well, if you want to see me playing games, go check out our YouTube channel. Search Game Addicts Podcast or Game Addicts Play, whatever. We should pop up. I've been playing through Mass Effect 1. I'm starting Mass Effect 2. There's gameplay of Last of Us, the entire game of that, Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2, and there's going to be more to come. I'm going to start, I'm working through the Mass Effect series right now, and I want to just I want to have a steady stream of me playing something and uploading it and just commenting on it, and kind of like a long form retrospective review kind of thing. It's like you see me playing it, I'll stop and talk for a little bit. That's kind of what I do. So that being said, now that we're all done with housekeeping, it's time to get into bed.
Yay.
Later on, guys. Have a good one. Game on.
Yeah,